It's 2021. It's January 1st, 2021. Everybody is excited, right? Because 2020 is gone. 2020 was an interesting year. It was a year, taught us a lot of lessons. Taught us mostly that for most people, we're not in charge of our future. And that's not a great place to be. Most of us figured out how we could veg on our couch. Netflix is a big deal. We learned how to Zoom meetings. You know, it's interesting the changes that this is going to bring about. So many businesses are going to allow remote working to continue. People work from home. One, businesses can reduce their overhead. They don't need all those buildings. They don't need the mortgages. They don't need the utility bills. They can even reduce their payroll because their employees don't have to travel, and so they don't have to compensate them so much, you know. So maybe it's going to be interesting how business reacts long term. A lot of business will still be done from home. And so there's been lots of changes. Changes we never saw coming, changes most people weren't ready for, changes that impact our lives in different ways. 2021 is here. Everybody's was looking forward to 2021 to get out of 2020 to start a new year. This COVID thing isn't going away. It's not changing as of today. At the stroke of midnight last night, it didn't change. It didn't go away. Our lives didn't go back to normal. This will continue. I'm telling everybody for 6 months, the lockdowns and all of that are going to continue for another 6 months at least. So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do with 2021? It's totally up to you. How you handle 2021, how you handle what happens to you in your life, how you handle the things that go on in your business, your career, your family, your community, it is totally up to you. And the way you deal with that is you need a plan. You need a plan. Most people don't have a plan for their life. When you go on vacation, you have a plan. You know when you're going, you know when you're coming home, you know where you're going, you know how you're getting there, you know what you're taking with you, you know what you're going to do, you know what you're going to accomplish, and you know what fun you're going to have. But in your life, you don't know where you're going. You know where you are today. You don't know where you're going to end up. You don't have a plan for that. You don't know what you're going to do. You don't know, you're not going to be in control of what you do because other people, if you don't have a plan, other people have a plan for you. If we planned our lives like we plan our vacations, we would all be very, very, very successful. So maybe think about that for a little bit. Today is day one. It's day one of 2021. What are you going to do today in order to have a more successful, let's say more successful 2021 than you had in 2020, or even successful 2021, because 2020, we just throwing that one away, right? But how do you even start? Where do you even start? Everybody's going to start with New Year's resolutions. Well, not everybody, because most people don't do it, but you hear a lot about New Year's resolutions. Okay, that's great. New Year's resolutions don't work. You know, it's a resolution. You resolve to do something new in the new year. Okay, that's great. Have the resolve. Make a New Year's resolution that you're going to set a goal. Have the resolve to do something new and something productive in 2021. Because what we know about New Year's resolutions, by January the 17th, the majority of people will have given up on them. By February the 1st, 80% of people have forgotten what their New Year's resolution was, and it's back to life as normal. Do you really want to live your life as normal, the normal that you've lived in 2020? Is that the normal you want to live? Or do you want to be in control, finally, of your life? It's not going to happen overnight. So those of us who want overnight success, who want instant gratification to get what we want in our life. It doesn't happen that way. But you can resolve, so make a New Year's resolution. You're going to resolve to change this year, to be different this year, to set a goal this year. And you do that by starting out with identifying what it is you really want. We all know what that is. We all have that dream. We all have that vision in our head. When you sit quietly, and this weekend you're going to sit quietly sometimes, or you're going to sit around, it's January 1st, and you're going to go, oh, man, if only I could. 2020 has been a really rough year. And so many people are sitting around saying, man, if only I had, or I wish I could, or man, if this would happen for me. What is that? When you say that, when you think that to yourself, when you're quiet, when you sit quiet and you say, man, I wish I could, what's the rest of that sentence? When you said, man, if only I had, what's the rest of that sentence? That's your vision. That's your dream. When you look at your family, when you look at your children, and you say, man, if only I could have the life of, what is that? Or if only I could do this for my family, what is that? Why can't you do that? Why can't you have it? Why can't you make that happen? It's because, here's the hard part. It's because you don't have the guts to do it. It's true. Most people who live a life of mediocrity, who just let life happen, the theme of my book, The Success Grower, don't just let life happen. The people who just let life happen don't have the guts to change. It's so easy to sit in our life of comfort, even if it's not comfortable, even if you're living in poverty, even if you're living in a shack, and you want to get out of that, even if you're living in a situation that is abusive, you don't want to get out of that because, you know, it's not too horrible. It's comfortable to stay here where I am and feel sorry for myself. What is that? When you say, man, if only I could, what is that? That's the vision. That's the dream that you have. That's the vision. That's where you start. So if you want to know, how do I start changing my future, changing my life? That's where you start. What is that vision? Then you need to identify why you want it. Some people maybe put why first. You need to know why. Simon Sinek wrote a book, Start With Why. It's a great book. You will never change anything in your life until you know why you want to change it. And that why is so strong that it compels you to change. So this dream that you have, this vision that you have, this ideal life that you want to live, this goal you want to achieve, this new job you want to get, this new house you want to build, this new business you want to start, ask yourself why. Why do you want it? Do you want these things for comfort? Do you want these things for your family? Do you want these things for financial security? What is it? Once you know what it is you want, ask yourself, why do I want it? Because once you know truly why you want it, and that why becomes so strong, because I am sick and tired of people telling me how to live my life. I am sick and tired of not having enough money in my life to do the things I want to do and go the places I want to go. I'm sick and tired of having a car that I have to fix every stupid week in order to drive it. What is it for you? Why do you want it? Once you know your why, you then need to latch onto the emotion of why that's important to you. And the passion that it brings, why you want to change. Why you want to go from where you are today to this new thing you want to achieve in your life. and hang on to that passion, because that will drive you forward for the entire year. Okay, so now you know what it is you want, the vision, the dream that you have. You know what it is. And you know why you want to do it. It may be because you don't want your children to have to live the kind of life you've lived. And you want a better life for them. And maybe that's starting a business that they can have for their future. I don't know what it is for you. And so once you have that vision, once you know where you're going, where you want to get to, and you know why you want to have it, it's time to set a goal. And I'm going to encourage you to set one goal this year. You might say, Mark, there's a lot of things I want to get done. Why would I only set one goal? Because you'll overload yourself. And you'll set a whole bunch of them. And then you'll get none of them done because you've set a whole bunch of them and you don't really know how to prioritize them and check them off the list and get them done. So identify one that gets you to where you want to go. What one goal, if you achieve it this coming year, 2021, would have the biggest impact on your life? That's the question to ask yourself, to identify the one goal. What one goal, if you achieve it in 2021, would have the biggest positive impact on your life and your family? Identify that one goal. Write it down. And then you need to decide how you're going to measure your progress. You know, when you go on vacation, you know where you're going. You know the route you're going to take. And you know where you're going to stop for gas. And you know where you're going to stop for food. And you know tomorrow we're going to be here. You track your progress. You need to do that with your goals. You need to have a way to measure your progress. Because if you don't measure it, how will you know you get there? How will you know you've even taken a step forward if you don't measure it? So have a way to measure your goal. So when you set your goal for that one thing that will make the biggest impact in your life this year, make sure you write down how you're going to track it so you can track your progress. Then you need to create a plan. The plan, you know, it's the small steps that add up to the biggest results. If you go to climb a mountain, you're going to do it one step at a time. You don't jump to the top of the mountain. You do it one step at a time. All of the small steps, they add up to bigger results. They add up to greater steps, greater results. They add up to progress. Hang on, I was just checking on something here. There is no one big step. You can't just take one big step and get there. It takes small steps. So when you create your plan, you need to know what the steps are that you're going to take to get there. And the best way to do that is to work backwards. So take that one goal that you have and where you want to be, that one thing you want to achieve and where you want to be, and only think of the end of 2021. Think of 1 year from today. January 1st, 2022. What do you want to have achieved in this 1 year? Where do you want to be in this 1 year? It is totally up to you. And then say, okay, if that's where I want to be, let's say you want to start a business. You know what business it is. You want to start that business. You now need to start working backwards to identify, if you want to have a business that's up and running in a year from now, Well, you're going to have customers, so you're going to need a marketing plan. You're going to maybe need a place to have a business. If it's a building, it could be an online business. You need to know what legal documents you need to have in place. You need to know what the tax implications are. You need to know if you're going to have employees. And so you have to go through this process of figuring out when you need to put all those in place and schedule them. And those become your measurements. Those become the steps that you take in your plan. If you want to lose weight, if that's your goal, and you want to lose weight and maybe lose 50 pounds in a year, okay, that's a little over 4 pounds a month. That's about a pound a week. That's basically a pound a week. So if your goal is to lose 50 pounds by 2022, January 1 of 2022, your weekly goal is to lose 1 pound a week. You know, that's easy. That's really easy. Although when we do it, it seems really hard, but it's really pretty easy. And so what do you have to do? Part of your plan needs to be you need to get more exercise. Part of your plan needs to be you need to eat better. Part of your plan needs to be, you know, get rid of the ice cream before you go to bed or whatever. You know, go out and walk 3 times a week, whatever it is. And so you set this goal of 50 pounds in a year, but you have a very, very, very small goal of 1 pound a week. And then you go buy you a set of scales so you can measure it and track it every week. And then January 1 of 2022, when you are 50 pounds lighter than you are today, celebrate. Now, don't go out and eat a whole bunch of cake and cookies, but it'll be New Year's Day, so you can celebrate. It'll be all right. But celebrate. Do something special. Do something good for you. If you want to start a business, and 1 year from now, you've got a business that is earning an income, it may not be great to start with, but if it's on its way and it's working and it's earning an income, celebrate. Do something special for you, for the people who are working with you. When I grew up on the farm, you know, we set a goal to plant a crop. And the plan was to water it, to cultivate it, to nurture it as it grew. And then we got to harvest. And we got to celebrate the harvest. It was cool. It was really cool to get to harvest this thing that you've worked on, in this case, for just a few months. Make sure you celebrate, because if you know, and then plan how you're going to celebrate. That's cool. If you put in your plan how you're going to celebrate when you reach your goal, you will look forward to the celebration. How awesome is that? And if you really want to take this to the next level, then you need to be part of Power to Prosper. Let me go over here and grab this link. Power to Prosper is a coaching group. And it's a coaching group I'm going to start later this month. Give everybody a chance to get through the New Year's and the holidays and get you into Power to Prosper. In Power to Prosper, I take you through this whole process of how to take your vision and your dreams and and create the plan so that you can achieve the goals that you want in your life. There it is. Getting the link here for you. I'm going to put in the comments a link. There you go. Where you can find out a little bit more about Power to Prosper. And it's a coaching group. It won't be a huge group of people. It's a coaching group where I will take you through the process of helping you identify the vision of your life, helping you believe that you can have it, and setting the goals, developing the goals set the right way so you can achieve them, and creating the plan so you can achieve this in your life. For the year. If you want, let's just work on 1 year. and get that done. Once you learn this process one time, you can use it for the rest of your life. Because we don't teach it in school. But once you learn it once, you can set any goal you want. You can achieve any goal you want as long as you work at it. I mean, just because you set the goals doesn't mean you're going to achieve the goal, because you got to do the work. But make a New Year's resolution to be part of Power to Prosper, because it'll be the best goal that you've ever set in your life, because it'll give you the most momentum forward that you've ever had at the beginning of a year. So that's what you need to do. Today is day one. What are you going to do on day one? It's up to you. Tomorrow's day two. If you don't do it today, you blew one day. So don't blow today. Make a decision today that you're going to change your life and be part of Power to Prosper. I'm Mark Schinner with your Friday Focus. Happy New Year. 2021 is here. 2020 is gone. Let's make a plan to make this a great year. And I hope you have a great year. And I'll be back and talk to you tomorrow.